Good morning, Arizona, and welcome back to New News, where you get the news is new to you. Today, we have three experts joining us here today to talk about heat safety here in Arizona. Welcome, Joshua Badalik. It's good to have you in the new news. Now, lately, he has been rising worldwide.
Yep.
What can you tell me about heat rising in Arizona?
Oh, that has been on the rise for a good while now, and actually, according to our friends over at the Climate Impact Lab, we can expect temperatures over the next 20 years or so to actually increase by as much as 3 degrees, and then our summer temperatures, where we're above 95, to increase by 2 degrees. So say goodbye to your 108 days and say hello to the 110 days being the average for the summer.
3 degrees? Whew. How has it affected Arizona? I'm sure with the dryness, it's affected a ton.
Oh yeah. The heat in Arizona it affects so much stuff. It can affect anything from it according to the Arizona Drought Dashboard, apparently that's the name.
Hmm.
It can actually well, it causes droughts, really bad droughts. Because of it combined with our arid climate, it results in the the increased fire risk.
Hmm.
That's why we have so many forest fires in the summer.
Yes.
And then it even can cause shortages of water, which is just bad for crops, people, homes. Yeah, it's just overall horrible.
Well, are there any ways that Arizona citizens can help in the involvement of slowing down climate change?
Well, the climate change in Arizona, in order for it to really be addressed, we people need to try to use more public transit, reduce emissions, monitor the power usage, and even supporting legislation that supports and protects like things that will help make the environment better,
Mm-hmm.
things to help cut down power and just in general clean the environment.
Mm-hmm. Well, you hear that, Arizonans? Let's start chipping in to help our planet. Thank you, Joshua, for being on our news channel. It's a pleasure having you.
It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we have Sabrina, an expert on how to beat the heat, because gosh, we need it. Welcome, Sabrina! We are all excited to hear how we can stay cool in such high temperatures.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
So the first thing we can do to stay cool
Mhm.
in the Arizona heat is one thing to do is make sure that you stay indoors
Mhm.
during the hottest times of the day. You want to wear loose clothing and use a shade hat or an umbrella to be able to block the sun. It's important to be in the air conditioning for a few hours at least a day, and make sure to drink plenty of water and stay hydrated.
Important facts. What should we not do in cases of high heat situations?
Some things you don't want to do in the heat is avoid high energy activities and working outdoors. If you're going to do anything outdoors, make sure it's in the early morning or the evening. And you want to try to avoid tea, coffee, carbonated soft drinks because those can dehydrate the body more.
And how can we help our animals? Because we have a lot of animals here in Arizona. How do we protect them from the heat?
So to keep your animals safe, make sure you never leave them in a parked car. Even if the AC's on, just never leave them alone. Make sure you don't take them outside during the midday. Again, do it in the early morning or the evening. And make sure they always have fresh, cold water.
Oh, you hear that? Make sure your animals have fresh, cold water. Thank you so much. And now we're gonna go on an ad break. So we'll see you back.
The sun won't let you have water while I'm out. That's all. You can't escape the sun's gaze while I'm out. Look into my eyes. Wake up. You can't stay when the sun's out. Be blinded by the sun's gaze.
And we're back. Our last guest today is Tristan.
Well, thank you for having me here today on the new news channel.
Of
Very
course.
excited.
Yes, of course. How has heat affected Arizona citizens health-wise?
Well, over the years, Arizona has been experiencing high heat lately. It's going on into triple digits, which is very, 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 it's very awful. Because of this, we have many cases actually, with actually people coming in with heat-related illnesses. So we've been seeing a lot of emergency visits lately, which is unbelievable. And we have even had death cases as well, which is it's not good out there, folks. Yeah.
Well, are there any factors that could increase the risk of having a heat-related illness?
Glad you asked the question. Of course, there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of risk involved, actually. First is being dehydrated. People these days don't want to drink a lot of water.
I know.
They'll be like running down the road. They'll be stopping at, a gas station, not picking up water, just picking up sodas and all that stuff, and stopping at Starbucks. Man, those drinks can really make people dehydrated, as Sabrina just said. That was on a while ago. So, first off, dehydration is one factor. Because if you don't have a lot of water in your system, you're gonna lose a lot of water through sweat, and we need some water to help rehydrate the body. Secondly is obesity. In the United States, we have a high obesity rate right now, and and the reason why is because it's a core body temperature. So that's the reason why.
Yeah.
That so those are some of the factors that can go into heat-related illnesses and stuff.
Important things. So if someone is having a heat stroke or a heat-related injury, how can we help or what should we do? Do you have any info?
Yes, well, the first thing is make sure, and this is always a very important thing, is be sure if they're having a stroke or heat-related illness, get them out of the sun immediately. Yes, if you're close by to indoors, make sure you get them into a AC cooling environment so that they can start cooling down. If not, it's best to get them under a place where there's a lot of shade. And then secondly, if you have a cold tub with anything else around, make sure you pat them down with, wet towels, especially around the neck area. If you don't think that the patient or you is improving, call 911 immediately. So that we can, save the person's life so they won't die. And then
Very important.
And then one thing is just give them enough water and fluids, so they can start cooling down. That's it.
Well, thank you, Tristan. Remember to stay hydrated. Help around to make sure AZ stays safe. See you next time on the new news.